All right, class, here is your first video on the digitally interactive notebook. This is just an overview of how it's going to be used. It is going to be our bread and butter. We will make mistakes at first. Do not stress. Mistakes can be learning processes for us. Most of you know that I am fair. I value your input, and I will modify instruction to best achieve our end goal, which is to score well on the AP exam, which is a side note, but more importantly, in my opinion, to learn. Learn. All right. So I'll provide you with a checklist, kind of overview of how everything works. I'll provide a checklist as well on Google Classroom to make sure you've completed all assignments. But it's pretty simple here. If there's a highlighted box, you put something in it. So the first activity we're going to do is a jigsaw. I'll explain it in a little more detail in the video, but this box, since there's all highlights, should be filled with stuff. I'll put reminders in there that you need to do some Quizlet Learn Mastery. All right. There is crash course activities to do. If crash course intimidates you, listen, the purpose of this is to provide some historical context with somebody besides me. However, if you're intimidated by it, the important thing is to master the Quizlet associated with the crash course, which I'll provide a link to. And then you complete 3 key things that you think every American should know about that particular crash course. All right. In addition, I'll put reminders that you are to do a Quizlet Learn, which is facts about this particular moment in history, and you'll have to master a quizzes assessment. So you can take it as many times as you need to. For the closed notes is where it's at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you with a quick little lecture with the closed notes, and you'll complete them. So a closed note looks like this. The facts, you put in blanks, and I'm going to be talking about that. The cool thing about it being a video is you can actually stop it and do some of the activities associated with that particular concept from closed notes. So, for example, this one, the Reconquista, you would fill in the 2 highlighted yellows. And then down here, there are some activities you do. Sometimes there'll be pictures. Sometimes there'll be a passage. If you notice, there's a passage here. There's a link up here that goes to the digital history textbook where that passage is located. And on the next slide, you'll do what's called a hippo. And I'll explain what a hippo is. We have 2 types of analysis activities. And one's called a hippo, the other one's called a pest. We'll see which one we like the most. We'll try the hippo first. And then there's another closed note. Again, responding to visual aids. Closed note, notes, and then an activity. Activity. Closed notes. Activity. Activity. Closed notes. Passage. Activity. You catch the drift. See where I'm going with this. Now, the last one is the actual assessment I'm going to put on AP College Board. This is just for us as a class. The AP College Board, people see it, but it's not indicative of your score at all. It's just to prepare you. They're harder. You'll see code passages that are related as much as possible to that time period. Sometimes I won't even know what they are. But they are in the same format as how you'll see them on the AP test. And remember, they're not designed you're going to struggle at first. Don't stress out. I did as a student. But what's important here is that I want you to reflect on what you think worked and what you think didn't work. And I'm going to include this slide a lot of times early on because I really value what you think, and I want to change how I present the material in a way that will prepare you a little bit better. Okay. So that is the gist of a digitally interactive notebook. I've shortened these significantly because we have 30 of them that we're going to do, and we have 152 days of instruction. When you start calculating things like doing the assessment, sometimes the quizzes, that can be a little bit overwhelming. All right, so something may get cut along the way, something may get even added or changed along the way, but we're still going to stick with the digitally interactive notebook as our bread and butter and I will have videos accompanying each digitally interactive notebook, sometimes more than one, that will help you. And you should always keep in mind, communicate, put private comments in there. Nobody else is going to see them. Tell me what's going on, all right? Because in person, I listen. You need to speak up virtually, all right? Anyway, have a great day. And if you have any questions about the DIN, by all means, go ahead and make a private comment now.